I have to apologize. Yeah, I've got so many overlays on. I thought something was tripping. Man, I really want to get through this cast clean, man. Things are not going well. But anyway, all right. So like I was saying earlier, there's going to be a flip. We're obviously on the wrong map. We're supposed to be on Omaha Beach. Syndicate will be coming in as allies. And obviously, IR, our Chinese team, are the Germans coming from inland. Just want to go around and kind of get an idea of who's in here. We got Robert. Maybe we just kind of go through some of the... Let me just lock on to my guy. There he is. Let's grab Robert. Pull up with him. He's going to be one of our MGers tonight. Definitely be on the lookout for him. I mean, if he can get in good positions, you know, if y'all don't know this, your MG is probably one of the more important roles in this game. Knowing where to put your MG fire so that they're covering one another. I mean, crossfire in this game is brutal. Look for Robert to be one of the guys making a difference. All right, we got our boy Choxy. I would love to have done this on the player cards, but, you know, this has been a very interesting start, man. Casting has just been miserable to me. Just treating me poorly. So there's our man Chalks. I think we got my man Richie. He's a new addition to the lower third. My man Richie B in the house. We got Big Daddy Kane in the house over there, looking like a G in his wedding suit. And just from the looks of it, we got an OG right here. Shout out to Prankster. This guy's a man. If I knew he was in the match, top infantry player right here for sure. Oh, and there's a high-speed hilly. Tell me you're the real deal. Are you
Get fucked, pussy.
Woo! Talk dirty to him, baby. And that was our beloved Poop Naked. Where's the picture of Poop? We need Poop Naked. There's our guy Poop. And these scores, by the way, are actual scores that are reflective of only game one. And that was the game that Syndicate played against GBI on Purple Heart. No, yeah, Purple Heart Late Night. That's the map. Yeah, yes, sir. Amazing job for them. Kind of a little bit of a surprise. They were, no doubt, a slight dog in that, and they, you know, they showed out. They did well. Let's get through some other things. Like I said earlier, there are other matches going on right now, and you know what? While we got the time, I just took a quick peek over at a spree, and they are still up 3-2, but the midpoint is being captured by GBI at the moment. They're about 50%. Capped, and there's roughly, well, it's only about 30 minutes into the match. Oh, and here we go. We got our map change. So I also, you guys, you're going to have to see this one more time because I can't trust going into my studio. The OBS freaks out when I switch monitors, just so you guys kind of know what's going on. I have to set up all the midpoints. So you're going to see all the drops come down. Again, a producer's nightmare. But anyway, I'm really excited for this match. This is going to be such a good test for Syndicate. You know, this is going to determine, I think, whether or not they can challenge for the top spot and take on a spree. because this is probably their toughest challenge that they've had recently that I can recall. All right, flip is on. Okay, West Vierville to the north. This is going to be rough. So we have to drop all the points now. Then our fourth attacking would be Church Road. Where you at? Church. So the defending is Church. And the WN73, the northern point, to defend for Syndicate on their rear. Getting an invite from the squad that I need to be in. Absolutely. I'm in there. All right, hopping on. Bottom. This is going to be a tough one. Syndicate's either going to... Let's get into this map first, though. We got some time. We'll go over some rules. Let's get up top. Now, this being a non-meta for me, gonna have to really keep an eye on the snipes that come out. Like I did in the previous match. A huge thing for a spree. Huge thing for a spree to get that snipe early. Now, why is the scoreboard not showing up? This is amazing. Okay. Okay, scoreboard. Yeah, you should be there, buddy. You know what, guys? What can you do? This thing feels like it's cast. You know what? Let's just go with it. You know what I'm saying? Here's the APL rules. Munitions, fuel, manpower, not to be destroyed in any way. Panther is banned, Tigers only, and one single artillery gun. The APL rules. There, you got it. And obviously, whew. You know what? I literally was in this, and we were doing all the tests. Everything just worked great. And then it's amazing. You come in and scoreboard just let's see. Is that gonna do it? Well, there you have it. My goodness. I've never had to struggle like this, boys and girls. This is crazy. Okay. Back to this game. Man, what a shitty start. We got meme star. Was that 7 passengers? Just 6 passengers. Rocket snipes are out. Are we going to catch anything with them? Here they go. Landing inbound. Ooh, so close. Just avoiding the commander. And that is where Garrison is. They're expecting Garrison to be placed. More snipes going out. None of them getting any connects. Syndicate is in to the north, but our strong point West Vierville loaded with Axis players. This point, I was going to say, does feel like it is a lean for Axis, and when you're the underdog, as Syndicate is, you just don't need this point right here. We got a Looks hugging the wall, covering the main road. It's going to be important for Syndicate to maintain control of this church where Kid-X is. Poop naked. Also, our guy Blums is here. And OG came back to play. And Syndicate looks like they have done enough to stop this cap, and they're pulling progress in their favor. Pretty impressive for a point that's so incredibly difficult for allies just to get to. Syndicate has just about pulled it to even, and they're looking pretty strong. Our man Kill Switch, like we said earlier, front line in it. Crazy start. Syndicate holding the north, which is essential. You have to hold the northern half of the map, which they've done. You're gonna have to deal with this Looks to the north. Now something just... And we've got sneaky dabs. Like some old XD tankers. And now Syndicate's starting to really take control. They're hanging on by a thread up north. They're going to have to rotate guys up, but they're controlling the point proper, which is pulling this point in their favor, which is West Vierville, our northern point today. Looking really promising, that northern push. But they are losing their lights. They're throwing everything they got in to get this cap. They know how important it is off the start. Don't know what the win rate is, but on a map like this with a point like this to the north, you got to imagine the team that takes the early 3-2 has a huge win rate favor. This is the point where you're thinking, yep, if I am IR, it's map flip time. Syndicate will very nicely take the early lead. 3-2 on a nice comeback cap. And on our point, you can see West Vierville. And now the box out. Let's get our map up on the screen. The G column loaded for defensive. Now it's about, can you clean out this sector and push Infiltration back to the D column. If you can clear this sector, it is almost an absolute nightmare. Not almost, let me rephrase. That is an absolute nightmare for the Germans to recap. And the fighting is absolutely going to be intense. This northern compound, boy Meme Star putting in work. Here, and the satchel's going off. Nice satchel, cleans out that area. Now let's take the space. Our man Bullet running the sniper kit today. Trying to get across. I think artillery aided him in that one. Syndicate is about to break out across. Wisely, IR bring up their light. Looks to try and take command of this north. If you lose the north, strong point is already in the favor of Syndicate. They're fighting off any front door pushes. Rockets going in from the back by Prankster. This guy is done. Jung with the big kill. Big kill. That will allow Syndicate Inf to do what they do. And Syndicate Infantry is good to go, man. These guys have definitely got some shooters on the team. Poop Naked being one of them. Choxy delivering. All the boys. So here's your front line. All the Syndicate guys that I wanted to spotlight earlier. Here's the edge of the sword right here, guys. These are the people here that just get shit done for Syndicate. Now it's all about, can the bodies clear the north? Snark holding a line, not letting. Just gotta figure out how to deal with that light tank. Syndicate can clear this. Looks out of the north. That pushes IR back real deep, and this is not looking good for IR. IR has lost complete map control. They are having to come in from the D column, it looks like now. Stevie going on a wide flank. GB trying to get the angle on, looks like DT. Just holding your lane, not letting them get in the open field.
Fuck, pussy.
Woo! It's a PG show, man. Woo! God, you love that though, man. That one-on-one thrill, that adrenaline rush you get. You put a couple virtual in them. So that was the south. We're moving back to the point proper, right below us, which is all Syndicate. And now that the front door isn't receiving as much pressure, you're starting to see guys help out with the north. Our Bear Corps main. Gets that OP, baby. Let's get it. Nice job cleaning out the back end. Is he going to get the encore? Almost gets the squad leader. Now that, if he can get his OP up, he's real desperate. He needs to get it. He does pop it up. There's two. Now this is what Syndicate needs to do. These two OPs, if they can wipe out the E3, it's over, because Syndicate controls the bottom half of the sector. So this is it for IR. If they don't mount a serious attack soon, and they lose this tank, Syndicate infantry is gonna easily push them out. Jump on with our medium Sherman. Super Stooper. Out there with the goggles trying to find the other tank. I think that blast might help you. So tanks are just going to hold certain areas, not allow inf to get in. That's a great spot for the tank to be now. Is there a tank competing against them across the way? Not finding anything at the moment. But yes, Syndicate needs to eliminate this threat on the front door. Sitting in the house is not really advantageous. You're allowing IR to spawn for free. You must push out. going to run this live ticker for you guys. Hopefully that bad boy works, huh? Lots of great exchanges. Now this is a big move for IR. They've moved up the light. I suppose they're feeling a little bit of the pressure. I mean, to bring your light this far up, they are beginning to cap, but this is a big risk. If this light tank goes down, they're going to have to do it all in from there. Big spawn. Kill switch. One in. Gets taken down. But again, that looks will not survive another one of those bazookas. Now bad up with the great location on that MG. Covering this compound beautifully. Looks is trying to pin itself up against the wall. This is, see how it ends up. Syndicate wants to risk bringing their tanks up. We've got a Sherman here sitting in the north. Not too interested about the light. Looks sitting on the point proper. Infantry should be able to hand that up. Water jug with the AT rocket trying to wrap. Big satchel going off in the north. That's just going to be a rinse and repeat until one side cleans the other out. Right now, Syndicate looks like it's got the upper hand. Obviously, with Sherman sitting there, that's a big, big help. Pulling around, we've got Water Jug. Maybe he's got an angle. He's going up against all the infantry holding that back end. Oh, he was satcheled. Light tank goes down for IR bombing run. IR bombing run. Coming straight through midpoint. Not doing much. They're trying to follow the bombing run up, that is IR, but now you're getting crushed from two spots. This is how important the north is. Now IR will be hit from north and on the point proper. We got an airhead going down with some smoke. IR's risking it, taking the chance. Question is, can that Tiger out in the field cover airhead that's dropping right now? Let's get down. I believe they're going to get a couple spawns off. This looks like it's covered pretty well in an area that Syndicate is not currently occupying. Unless artillery's got a dial on this, which they might. It's not much longer now before we get our first spawn. Flares going out from Flint Sky over airhead. We've only got one right now, Babel. There has to be more. That is a front door garrison right on the point proper. And it's being protected. Beautiful teamwork. Beautiful timing. Bombing run. Syndicate has to have cleared out. Great bombing run. Takes down airhead. Forcing the Panzer IV to retreat because he's got no infantry support now. He needs to pull back off the point. But I will say this, IR, every bit the Chinese champions that they are, still holding strong up north, making Syndicate work extremely hard, not letting them dig them out. Syndicate losing bodies. Now, no tank support also sitting up here, so losing the northern half of the strong point. Ooh, artillery with the timely strike. Easy clap. MG in the building gets you every time. Boy. Have none more of that MG. So IR is just really doing well to just keep their OPs back. They're not risking putting their OPs anywhere close, although that is a little bit of a risky OP. I was just saying, if Syndicate can push across, they get wiped, and the squad leader goes down, that's just one less person you can count on getting those bodies in that northern area. And artillery is Johnny on the spot with it. Our man Koala, excuse me, Koala, doing the artillery tonight for Syndicate. Now let's pull off and let's get down south. And I was saying earlier how the MGs in the south need cross-cover fire. Now, nobody better in the game right here than this guy right here. Worst guitarist. He's covering, looks like, the northern sector. And just get an idea, that's his vantage point. He sees everything coming out of the wheat field, allowing Poop Naked and Chocks to move up. Taking it further back. And you can just see when you play comp, you just don't play the sector. You play map edge to map edge practically. Maybe not this time. You're not going to be way down here in the 7-8, but you're definitely 5 and 6 and strong in the 3-4. Trying to get a peek. Takes kill. Gets avenged by, I'm gonna call you Q. So back up to the north bullet. Fighting with the other team, the IR recon squad. Syndicate looking really strong on the point proper. Haven't quite been able to push out in E3 quite yet, but they do sort of control the south, and they're pinching in IR from the 4-5 because they had that garrison further south. Great placement, by the way. Great line. But it is the north that's giving Syndicate that trouble. So who's ever on hard defense, hard cap defense, is now moving up. But I got to hand it to IR. They are dogs. They don't give up. They are fighting. And usually by about this time, one team is in complete control, and it's just a long grind back. I've never seen a team reclaim West Vierville after they've lost it. So this will be a first for IR if it does happen. sure we just saw that flash.
On that stone wall.
I mean, just so cool and calm about it. Knows exactly where they are. Well, they're not in there currently. Not going to get any kills with that satchel. Man, artillery is just... That's the kill zone for artillery. That open field, they're just going to focus on there. That big blast. Hopefully not catching a friendly, but definitely allowed Meme Star to get out. Switching up tactics a little bit. Looks like IR is at least temporarily suspended a bulk of the push from the north and redirected forces to the middle, front door with Tiger. Commander marking Tiger. So what does Syndicate have in the way of tanks on the board? We've got a heavy with Fake, Gloomy, and Lord Jack sitting in G3. So I'm not sure what these guys are going to do. Probably just kite back and forth. But we'll try to catch the YOLO missions like this. The Panzer IV, Puma, making a run, pushing the point proper, putting a lot of pressure on Syndicate to respond. A lot of cap weight. 3 in Panzer IV. Puma gets dropped. Who gets that? Didn't quite catch it. That might have been Richie B. Richie B with the kill on the Puma. With that, Syndicate defending. Getting close to the 30-minute mark. And we can say now, after 30 minutes of hard fighting, Syndicate clearly now owns the north. And now looking straight down below, we've got the point proper. It's kind of back and forth right now. Syndicate's dealing with this Panzer IV that's sitting in the point proper. Going to pull off to the south, and it looks like Syndicate does own the buildings to the south. Small, looks like one-man squad of IR just trying to get some sort of presence in the southwest in these little buildings. So I do see that I'm live, man. I just hope nothing goes wrong, boys and girls, because if it does, it's not being recorded. OBS is being a you-know-what. Shit just freezes, hates me for some reason. But everything looks good so far. Pray with me. It doesn't break. Chocks with the big grenade. Knows the MG's spotting. Got Poop and Choxy just cleaning point proper. IR with a nice use of smoke just to get in. Looking probably to put satchel on building. It's kind of the standard. It's like if you can make it to the goal, just put it on there. But I'm impressed. IR's hung in there. We're already 30 minutes in this match. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I know it's late night, but you know what? We're 12 hours apart. China is basically Sunday morning, and here on the U.S., we're just about coming up on midnight. So these are going to be late casts anytime we have a Chinese team, but well worth it. This has been a great match. We're seeing cap progress. Am I seeing that correctly? On road? That can't be. I am seeing it, and it's more than just a little bit. They're over 50. A couple squad leads in there. My goodness. This is something serious. This is a full redeploy for IR. They have no chance of saving this unless they pull everything off the front line and try and save this. I mean, it might even be too late. I'm not even sure a bombing run is going to save this. I'm getting the scoreboard ready because this just might happen. Daddy getting clapped from the back. Cap progress has stalled, at least temporarily. I mean, this is where you roll the dice a little bit if you're Syndicate. Do you just commit to the 4-1 and possibly leave yourself vulnerable? Supplies dropping in from our commander, just in case this is a successful. They get a quick garrison up so they can legitimately hold. Because if there's no spawn points, man, this is tough. Syndicate is full commit to the strong point to stop the cap from happening. Syndicate is still moving the needle. Man, we're just going to hover up here. Up, we've got a Tiger coming back to save the day. But man, what serious pressure on the fourth point. They got it 3/4 of the way capped on our fourth point, Church Road. That does free up a lot of space up. That was our midpoint. As Vierville, you can see that's cleared everything out. IR's on full recap defense. Now let's pull the map up so we can get an idea. Syndicate needs to, in this vacuum, reestablish its garrisons along the 3, and they can start strategically removing garrisons that they no longer need. Like this one down here may or may not stay. Actually, maybe you keep that one. Maybe you take this one here away, or the one up on the map edge. But you're going to take one of them away. Now, in the vacuum, what can Syndicate do to improve its position? We have a squad lead out here. We do not. Tigers are rushing the point. Once again, I'm going to pull a map just to see what tank situation we got. Kind of conservative, hanging back a little bit. Making sure that this is cleared out. But that long cap on Church allowed this to happen right here. Allowed Belcher and Chosen, the guys up north, to really push the threat out. Snarky Snacks might have been shooting at an OP. So like I said, in recapping the first 30 minutes, an amazing start for both teams, actually. I didn't catch any snipes. The Rockets just missed. But it was a clean start for both teams, like I said. And IR was able to go out and pull the point, which was West Vierville, to about half their side. And Syndicate was able to stronghold it and pull it back into their favor and actually capture it without too much of a challenge once they stopped the cap progress from IR. And we've been sitting, 3-2 roughly now, 10 minutes. So Syndicate's been trying to box out and clean out the areas. They did put pressure on the point we had just seen earlier, Church, and that basically forced all of IR to come back on defense and clean out the sector. And in the vacuum, the lines have been pushed up. This whole line stretching from Shadow out in the distance. Shout out to my man Shadow, holding the map edge. So now IR probably still interested. You can't not come from the north, but this is a lot tougher sledding. Squad on squad. Let's get that check. We got Shen squad leading as well as Shadow. Davy Jones trying to take some hair off. Running that open field, that's exactly what that open field you're seeing right there. If Syndicate can control this cornfield, is what would force IR to come through. So you're wondering why everybody's fighting in this. Well, this offers about the only bit, a little bit of concealment. Nice grenade from Bearcore. Let's go, Bearcore. Taking out the big opportunities. You hear that MG going, Chalks takes it up for him. You definitely want to get rid of those MGs, and Chalks does just that. And for a bonus, let's throw in the garrison. Now, where was that? That was front door for them. That is a big removal of garrison, because that's where all the pressure in the 3 was coming from. So I'm thinking now, this is all OP work, because garrisons have to be 200 meters from one another. That was a huge take by Chalks. Rotate back over. And I'd said this is going to be a statement game for Syndicate, for teams in Division I to take notice, and I think this game is going to be the one that really puts Syndicate back on the map. These guys look like they might be for real. Controlling the church. Vierville to the south. Garrison up. Protects you from a deep flank, and also putting front door pressure on Church Road. We're going to stick right here. Both teams know the importance of this church. They've even brought, looks like, or sounds like I should say, Panzer IV. Trying to shell up into that bell tower, take out those MGs. One guy you do have to be aware of is that guy right there. Prankster coming for you. He's hunting. Trying to get that ass shot. He's going to peek it through. Ricocheted it. Rinse and repeat. He'll be back. Never standing in one place for too long. Takes down Robert. Robert is not going to be happy about that. And our man Myth, the legend, squad leading. Big shot, big direction. Is that tank in the way? What is out there? We need to know. Who was that? Oh, nice. From Got to get the man. Sneaky dabs. Those boys did it. Nice job. Nice peek. That's a big take. Panzer IV was basically trying to help suppress this infantry. Now that tank gone. Syndicate clearly controls the midpoint to the south. So now we're just going to deal with a little bit of pockets. And for infiltration, I'm guessing their play is to put everything middle and push the front door because you got nothing to the north. It's super easy to hold. This meme star with his MG is just going to, yeah. Let's just get on the field and show you what he's doing. It's just dirty. He's going to be able to hold this entire field unless Koala over here can get Meme out of his position. This field is not open for business. Shadow being the SL, just going to sit out there, make sure Syndicate's not getting wrapped. But they won't be dealing with tanks, it doesn't appear. Looks like the heavies are engaging in some long distance fire. Tiger moving up its position. Syndicate tank out in the distance, deep. So everything's looking good on the bit rate from YouTube, winning. I'm not sure how it is for the players, but man, this server feels pretty good, pretty smooth. You hate to see guys when they are unhappy with the performance of the server. And speaking of that, this is our sponsor speaking right here. This is their server, and these guys have hardware, amazing hardware. You got to check out their website. I mean, top-end rigs that run this game, from what I'm seeing, pretty nice. Definitely give the website a check. These guys are competing against G-Portal and GTX, and I'm pretty sure server owners would be interested in giving Kwanzaa at least a go for a few months. They've got a couple packages. Pick the one that's best for you, but both packages seem pretty fair. Even the top end one, the best hardware, it's only about $50 a month. So I think that's competitive to what G-Portal and GTX are providing. But obviously less performance because I don't see any stuttering. Everything's pretty clean. Pings are good. Now, just to get an idea of where are we committed to holding the north. I don't know if that's the right play, I guess. I'm not sure. But you can see Syndicate can, with the two tanks up north, that's leaving front door kind of open to put pressure again on Church. You know, if you can possibly catch these Tigers out of place and get them moving in directions they don't want. Can't go down tanks when you're already behind 2-3. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these Tiger tanks in the next 10-15 minutes if they continue to push forward. Taking shots. This is a long distance gunfight. Takes down, looks like Sneaky and Dabs is heavy. So that helps the Inf get through. So the Tiger, which just took out the Syndicate 7.6, can basically suppress Robo, who's sitting there probably with sight lines. If you're looking at Robo where he is, he's got sight lines as soon as these guys cross into the field. But as we pass the halfway mark, once again, recap was both teams starting clean, no snipes, everyone arriving on time, and as expected, IR was capping mid, got it to about 50%, and then Syndicate just flipped the switch and just started killing and just taking the midpoint back, and they slowly boxed out the north and pushed the south. I mean, these guys cleaned it up probably about 5 minutes into the game, and we've been sitting here 3-2 now for about 30 minutes. And just a reminder to those of you guys that might not be aware, just kind of clicked over to see how Spree gets the win, 3-2 on GBI. Map was Carentan. If Worst can get positioned up on top of one of these buildings and suppress everything out in the field to the south, I think that's what he's trying to do. Again, this is our midpoint, our church. Excuse me, let me correct myself. That's not the midpoint. That is a midpoint. They want to control the church. But we are hovering right above what is the hard point, West Vierville. So, looks like IR has changed strategies, said, you know what, there's no way in from the north, which is give up that space, as you can see. Shadow, Poop, and the rest of the gang up north with Garrison. And it looks like they said, you know what, we're not going to hold this point, so let's force, or group up, I should say, a force to south. Here's Tank moving into the buildings here. So if you're looking at the map, you're liking what you're seeing, how it's shaping up for Syndicate, because IR is walking into a wall of Syndicate players. Bombing run. We have a successful bombing run. And that was, yes, that was on the 76 to the north. A lot of good fighting. Hedge to hedge. Bringing the Tiger up. Getting clap. Shadow, but MG across the way. Plus, we've got another Tiger tank coming up. Two Tiger tanks in the top. The three. Yeah, Chosen is definitely calling in command chat. We need help. We're about to go run. Satchel gets the inf, but that That's not stopping the tanks from moving up. I don't think the tanks are willing to risk crossing over, but they just might, knowing that the 76 is down. If they only knew the advantage that they're holding, they might just try to push across, bring their tanks into the north part of the cap. We'll just have to see. One more time, let's get the big map. Syndicate's still holding. Looks like a pretty firm line for the most part down the F. D has his OP up to trigger anything that's hooking, forcing IR to go deep in their flanks. But they are a little touch light here in the north. Obviously, the two Tigers are right here front dooring it, and they need more pressure on Church Road. Either that or they need to rotate guys up north to help out. We've got a dead. Must have missed that. Two Tigers earlier in the north. Let's try and stay on this fight. There must be something out here for that tank to go down. Tiger, if he presses his luck, making a bold move, running across open field, not even concerned with the infantry, just trying to get to cover. Looks like he's going to do it, and the other Tiger following. But Bear Court, level 9 Satchel, takes out one of the crew members. This could be the play. Say it, baby. Satchel on. This is going to be huge. These guys are running. Not sure if that Satchel is coming off. Shen is out there looking to protect it. You can see Satchel's about a little more than, well, about a quarter of the way left. This is a huge move. Bear Core about to get credited with one of the big. Yeah, talk to him, baby. Let him know. But he did take out the Tiger that is the repair station, and Syndicate still needs to clean up the area to the north. Although the one Tiger did make it across, and IR is just rolling the dice right now. There's no time to waste. You're approaching, like I said, the game you play in thirds. The first third's been done now for a while. Here is the second third, almost finishing up. And the last third is where you make it all happen. And that's going to be pretty tough, minus one Tiger for IR. So this Tiger is going to retreat and wait for his inf, because him being up north is not a good idea. Hardpoint defense looking fantastic. Moving on down south. Robo never gets enough love, but this is the discipline you need to have for comp. Lord Jack's gloomy and fake, holding the lane along with the MG. So look at the kill, look at the lines. Nowhere to run to, honestly. It's just... So we've got 76 to the south of the strong point. But the Syndicate does look a little light. We've got one up to the north and just one down below. So that's 2 heavies. Nice little... So, Syndicate just waiting for that peak. They've got that peak. If that Tiger sticks its nose out, he's also got another one. That's a Panzer IV, I believe, soloed by Lock-On. Shot in. Now, 7.6 is sitting pretty. Repair station, so it can kite back and forth if it happens to get clipped. Covering this wheat field. Allows infantry to group up, take space here. IR artillery in the area. Chalk's looking to catch a grenade kill. Nova definitely know they're around the corner. Nova's prepped, he's waiting for him. Making that open run. IR and MG doing a great job of covering the space, allowing infantry to move up. So I hope you guys are enjoying this week 2 stream. IR, like I said, the Chinese champions, I'm going to crown them that. They've been the best Chinese team. They finished 3rd in seasonal. These guys are legitimate. And Syndicate was on a rebuild for such a long time. They lost so many players. But now it seems like a lot of them did come back and looking like the old team, the team of old. And they're proving it tonight. I mean, this would be a big win. I don't know if it's a historic win, but it would be a big win if they can hold on for the next 30 minutes and take down IR. That would be one for the record book. Now, I had said earlier that they played in a scrimmage, but we don't like to count scrimmages. You know, they might have not brought their A team to the game, get some rookies to play. But anytime you're in a seasonal or a APL season game, that's when the wins actually count, in my opinion. And Syndicate is really close to getting that first big time win. Let the rest of the division know. Let the division know you can play with them. For those of you that don't know, you're like, why has he got the OP out in the middle of nowhere? Smart play. Obviously, Syndicate can get up along this stone wall, and within, I think, 10 meters, I believe, infantry can clap OPs. So he would actually, the Syndicate infantry would have to hop the stone wall and move out closer. So even though it does appear to be open, as long as it's not getting farmed, it's pretty smart. This is going to be a tough area to take. You've got MGs with bat up. You've got a tank. 2 tanks, check. 2 tanks. Holding the wheat field. Infantry in the area. This front door is tough. And here's your northern wheat fields. Syndicate in the buildings that IR need desperately to get into, even have a chance. They can't even get a foothold from out here in the field. Bombing run, perhaps. Maybe an IR. It is. How deep are we? Possibly Syndicate. Syndicate bombing on. Maybe looking for barracks. You never know when the commander's flush with munitions. You might just dump it out and say, man, if I don't use it, I lose it. So sometimes you just take a lucky roll of the dice. Hopefully you catch something. Here's our guy, Kid X, all around there. Look at this guy running that support, being a team player, pumping that grease gun for all it can do. Just gonna peek that corner and hold. Put our squad lead Blooms, trying to make a big play. Trying to push his OP into this compound. That would be huge for Syndicate if they can get that OP up in that, clean it. And this is area to the south of our midpoint for today, West Vierville. So West Vierville is just no problems. Now, for Syndicate, you just need to hold this 3-2, obviously, but do you put pressure on the fourth like they did the other time? That's that. Do you take the risk at this point? You needed to do it earlier in the match because you needed to get them to redeploy because they were putting so much pressure in the 3 up top here that you couldn't dig them out. So you put pressure on their fourth point to force them to redeploy, essentially giving up the space for free. The question is, do you do it now? Do you do it one more time? Or you just keep pushing west like this, like Bear Core, moving into the 3, you take this and just straight down into church. We got sneaky out of a tank. So fuel, let's get a peek real quick on the fuel situation. We are at 510, 90 short of a heavy. What else is on the board? We've got one sitting on the point proper, a couple. Syndicate looking pretty stacked with tanks. There's also a Whammo garrison just got built by E-Squad leader. E-Squad leader being Viking. Let's get over to see. They're not comfortable sitting on this lead. High-speed Hilly in the backers. So that's Viking. Did he just get taken out? He did. High-speed Hilly just out there just hoping somebody would come by. Or would drive by. Hey, he indiscriminately kills anything. Or was that Garrison he might have taken out? That might have been Garrison. Don't think he's going to waste out on an infantry player. OGK running that flex off that Garrison. Wrong with the original. That's that layered defense. How deep? Where is this guy sitting? I mean, Viking and Shen are in the action. Let's go. Pushing this deep. Trying basically what I'm thinking is if I'm SLing, I'm dropping my OP somewhere deep, hidden in here, and just trying to get a 10-man in. There's enough pressure on the front door. This hook might work. We've got 4 squad leaders, so that might be the call. They want to get this in, I guess, before IR can mount up enough forces. And they're going to do it with a skeleton crew because they just don't want to waste bodies. But to the distance, 433 away is the midpoint, West Vierville. The cap is 200 meters around. So these guys are quite a ways, full grid away. Syndicate's pushing them further out. Just hear that sound of those MGs. Not going to let him breathe. Game Star still there, holding. Got Bad up in the other. 2 MGs holding down this whole entire 3. Babel getting his. Now, if Babel sees that OP, that's a big deal. Nova needs to be alert. Poop Naked needs to be on. Poop, last man standing. Is he going to get away from that SCG-44? No. Man, this guy. That's 5 in a row. Slaying. And he's doing it by himself, and the boys are going to... Wow, what a grenade. This guy's untouchable. Now, I wonder if he knows... Yeah, I think he got OP, too. Wow, huge play by this guy. That is a massive play. Took out 5 players and then gets a grenade on OP while killing squad leader. Huge play. That's huge. Now, if he can lock the garrison out... Garrison hidden in the wheat field, doesn't lock out the garrison. Such a good play individually, but just didn't know that the garrison was there. That's that boy getting that grease gun, making it look beautiful. So we're almost approaching that danger zone where we're going to start to see the mount up for IR. And grab on with our Tiger. Probably where he goes, because unless he's holding the area just north of Church Road. Yeah, how do you even attack this? Syndicate is putting pressure front door. That's going to lock that Tiger in because it has to control Church. Infantry for Syndicate holds the entire top half of the map. Snarky Snacks will get this one. He shows his ass. He's got the rocket out. Line it up. Take your time. Gets his kill. You know, if this holds, Syndicate will go 2-0. Along with the Spree, and they'll be tied for first place. They can just hold out for the next 18 minutes. things are looking pretty good. I mean, not really sure how IR can get in here. But I can tell you it's all going to come down to what their Tigers do at the end of the game. Big Daddy getting the clap. Getting deep in behind and forcing them to rethink their positioning. Because once you're wrapped, he's just going to camp that OP. There's the OP. Daddy sees it. Takes down OP and the squad leader. That's a huge play. Huge play by Daddy. Forcing them from front door. Man, I mean, talk about a great job of just fighting through it and boxing out. I mean, this is really textbook for people that want to know how to play Omaha, at least West Vierville. This was a pretty good execution of that plan. Tigers in a little bit of a problem. Not sure if they know Shadow has OP just waiting for him. OG, another squad leader, Chosen, a third squad leader. Chosen has to see that. He's got the lean going. Changing out the mag, switching over. Air Corps, he might get in within grenade distance. Bombing. Or P-strike, excuse me, P-strike off the mark. That would have been huge for Syndicate to take that Tiger in the north out. But Tiger's kind of locked in, can't do much. Doesn't want to even attempt that cornfield, and you can see why. They're just going to keep loading up the cornfield, wheat field, whatever it is. Wow. You know, I did have Syndicate coming in as not just a slight dog, but like a true underdog. IR is, you know, a real powerhouse. And I got to say, covering these guys as much as I do, you know, this is a big win. I was not expecting it to, it almost seemed easy for these guys. Now, it's certainly not over. I've seen Syndicate fumble it late before in an APL match, but right now, I don't see any whammo garrisons going up. Their lines are strong. There's no gap anywhere. And IR is just resigned to holding these hedgerows. And hoping they can make their breakthrough. It's going to be difficult. Gigadeath. That up. What he has got a great vantage point right here. Just the north is all him. Just to give you an idea of why you don't think. Tank knows you're there. That chimney's built different. 76 holding it out on the top. Knows that the Tiger is there on the other side, so they're going to stay in a stalemate. These guys are just going to... Tiger's not going to venture into that gap too much. Just going to cover it so the imp doesn't get through. But yeah, this is what you're going to see till, I think, the last 5 minutes. Nobody's really interested in doing anything. It's just, let's not lose any tanks. And let's make this last push if we can get in somehow. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to happen for IR. I don't know which direction they want to go. The easiest is obviously directly in, but Syndicate's going to have that covered. And right now, southern map control by the church, still in Syndicate's hand comfortably. Panzer IV with Tiger moving up. Kid-X with a clear shot. I think nobody's got him covered. One in the gas tank. He's got one more inbound. What a beautiful shot. Taking out the Panzer IV. I told you that guy was a killer. Guy's a big time player. Time is winding, 10 minutes left. One more check of the map before we get this big push. How is Syndicate looking? Map control, they don't. I guess it looks good. I mean, the back end is cleared. Their inf is in the front. The southern half is more or less under control. They've got a nice little box out going. I think we're seeing not the last ditch effort, but this is the big push. I guess it's in layers. You use your tanks to allow your infantry to traverse. They've got all three tanks to the north, trying desperately to get control of that building Storm and Norman is in, because they're just having absolutely no success to the south. So we can just lock it in here and just see what happens. I think whatever happens with this engagement is going to determine the outcome. And this is where I've always worried about Syndicate. If they're getting overwhelmed, I need to know that the team is communicating, and they're actually communicating the seriousness. Nice strafe by the commander. But to understand the situation and how to respond to it. IR is pressing up. Supplies dropping. Trying to probably get a front door there, so they're going to drop it in the wheat field but build it in the D3. That'll be the front door. I believe Koala's off to do that right now. Probably looking for a halfway decent spot to drop this thing. And here it is. Chinese are known for making amazing coordinated pushes, a la Fock on Foy against TL. One huge Zerg rush at the end of the match, and they stole that match late from TL in the seasonal. So buckle up, because I mean, this is it. We've been watching a stalemate for the last hour plus. Well, here it is. This is it. Tanks are rolling in. It's going to be just as intense as the opener. Kill switch shot on. Rick, though. Panther is in a bad spot. Shot in on the Tiger. Now that was AT gun from our man Pyro. Shout out to you, Pyro. One man in that like a beast. Trying to control the main road. Bombing run, hearing it. That it looks like an IR bombing run. Let's catch it. Where are we hitting? North, south, running that whole line. Wow, gets a bunch of Syndicate players. That's going to help their chances now. IR needs to fill that vacuum. Can this heavy hold it off? Can it get back in? Splash. Across from it, the Panther, excuse me, Tiger, waiting patiently for just peek. Yep. Don't know if the 76 saw that, but he has to know there's something there. I'm not sure if he's going to go for the peek. This is a big moment. They've got two tanks trying to double tap. Oh, he's going to stick his head. Stu doesn't know. He gets the Rick. This is huge. Oh, he misses a shot from distance. The IR tank misses. Kid X out there doing his best. Look at this guy just being a stud. Helping out. Taking down garrisons. 6:45. Cut 2 minutes for the cap time. We're down under 5 minutes for this match. Syndicate on the verge of one of its biggest wins. Now there was, and you can see it, there is slight cap progress. Wow, buckle up, here it comes. Shot in from the 7.6. He's got a sight line on the Tiger. Tiger's running, gets out of harm's way, kites back over the stone wall. Infantry going crazy here. This is it. Big end. Here's the final. Infantry's going crazy in the middle here. West Vierville, our point. We're just going to park it here for the last 3 minutes. We don't have to chase the action. The action's coming straight to us. Wow. Whoever wins these gun battles right here wins. And I'll tell you what, IR is cooking right now. They have got bodies in the strong point. Syndicate might be holding the tank advantage, but we could start seeing some cap progress really, really soon. With all the weight that IR is putting in, they've got their tank, Tiger, sitting in the point proper. Wow. Things are about to get so crazy right now. Shen trying to get the satchel on. Oh my goodness, the smoke is everywhere. 2 tigers, it's all in. Just stuff it in. How are we looking? Everybody, it's forget the flanks. If you're on defense, Myth is going to be an all-in about a second. We need all bodies to report to the strong point. Bombing run, Syndicate, holding it out to the end. Where does this land? Does it run down? Does it get legs? Does it get them? Slightly off on that directional. Cap progress starting to go for IR with 4 minutes. Cut 2, like I said, they've got 2 minutes. Wow. This is shaping up to be a real exciting final. Wow, the South is completely owned by IR. Syndicate needs to rotate bodies down. They need to bring tanks down. Wow, this is going to be a very interesting finish. You really got to give IR the credit. They have fought back wonderfully on a point that you're not supposed to even have a chance at. And just like I was alluding to earlier, Syndicate has lost matches late. No need to move. Here it is. Syndicate is defending on a fresh spawn wave. They need to get their kills in order to keep the cap defending. Appear to be doing that. Stuka bomb run on one of the... Now was it 4? Oh, they were shooting for the garrison. Just missed the garrison on the point proper. That, I tell you what, if they would have got the timing on that bombing run or that precision strike with the infantry that's coming across, that's how close it was. IR, if with that spawn that you're seeing right down below you doesn't happen, if that precision strike hits, count all these players out, and you already see a ton of IR players already in the cap. Wow. Wow, you're not seeing cap progress yet, but let me tell you, at any second, and there's only 15 seconds left, I think Syndicate might be holding on and holding out for this big win. I think it's coming. And we're about to say it official. Congratulations, Syndicate. Taking a big win away from IR, who had a bye week last week, by the way. But great showing from these guys. Amazing. So that pushes Syndicate now to 2-0, like I said. And let's just run the scores real quick while we got the time. Our commander was Athens today, not in his usual tank. Not a bad job today. Build score's a little light there, sir. But other than that, maybe you didn't need to build your garrisons. Maybe your SLs were doing work. Myth, wow, big score. I told you that guy's a killer. High speed, doing job. Economical, 220. Stevie, what? 718. Big kill scores everywhere. And for our Chinese infiltration side, 840 might be a tanker. Artillery is probably XC. But there you have it. Big win, Syndicate. And yeah, I'm not even sure if I want to wrap this up, but maybe I do. Maybe have the courage to switch the scenes without the stream breaking and get back into the main booth and kind of go through some of the plugs and let the people know what's going on in the Hell Let Loose world. And that'll about wrap up week 1. We were the last... No, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? Oh my goodness. There's a ton of games tomorrow, guys. I think there were 5 games today, and I believe there are 4 more to go tomorrow. Check in with the Discord. Make sure you don't miss out. Athens, you know what? You're 500, but you got the biggest dub Syndicate's gotten. You need to give a little love to the commander. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually try and slide this back into the main booth, and hopefully we don't crash. Oh, that was about as smooth a transition as I've seen. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that stream. I said a number of times in the cast, biggest win for Syndicate. That really puts them in the driver's seat now for the division. Them and Esprit are going to match up probably next week, I'd imagine. That should be a real interesting one. But anyway, which I didn't get a chance to do earlier today because having problems. But news. Let's just go over some news. 5.2. The ability to switch the configuration of the map around. They didn't use it today. I'm looking forward to seeing them, the different communities implement this new tool that we have, because we don't have to have maps get double banned basically because they're impossible to win because they fear getting one of the strong points, like a West Bend on Foy. You might not ever want to play that. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. I think it's just a wait and see. We'll test it out and see if it works, kind of thing. And I didn't even have a chance to go over the player cards. Sorry guys about that. I had it all done, and OBS just doesn't like when you stream and record. At least it doesn't like when I do it. The stream, though, on the other hand, was smooth. I don't think I had any problems. So yeah, that was great. Smooth stream. Kwanzaa, our sponsor, has obviously great hardware. Nobody was complaining. My Discord isn't lighting up with people complaining. So yeah, hopefully, that's the report I get when I actually get to debrief it a little bit and talk to Syndicate. But before I go, guys, thank you for all the support you give me in this league. Like that if you can. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends if they might like to see what we're doing over here. And yeah, last thing is just make sure you hit the notification bell, right? Because I wasn't sure if I was going to attempt to stream. I said, you know what? It's late night. Why don't I just record this thing and post it in the morning? So yeah, hit that notification bell in case I changed my mind last minute. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this week and or this cast, and see you guys next week. Take care. Peace. Lost the outro scene. So we're just gonna end it like that, guys.